Right guys, welcome to a new episode, and this is going to be Coffee with Callum, and this is going to try and be a weekly episode series that I do, and basically, hopefully the mic's okay, just going to discuss things that come up within the week, and hopefully they're relating to fitness, calories or anything to do with the brain, exercise, nutrition, working out, different training methods, anything that I hear that I think is, in my opinion, outdated, and I think there is a better way to think about it, and there's actually a better way to implement basically the general idea of the question. So what I'm going to outlay today is basically calories not being equal to one another in a metabolic way, okay? And then also we're going to be talking about if it fits your macros. So if it fits your macros is an acronym, and it basically stands for if it fits your macros, and what that basically implies is, and I actually used to follow this diet for probably around a year, and now this is where it's going to sound, so I don't mind if it fits your macros, but there's a huge distinction between if it fits your macros, eating whatever you like, and then if it fits your macros, eating really healthily and looking for the superfoods, the foods that are actually gonna nourish your body and actually keep you full. And not even just keep you full, but there's extra benefits. So like for the brain, for the body, cognitive function, metabolic function. So there's because if it fits your macros, basically says you can eat within 2,500 calories, hit your protein, hit your carbs, hit your fats. Well, what if we have two individuals, one eating, if it fits your macros, but eating McDonald's all day and just making sure they hit their protein, their carbs and their fats, and then we have another individual who's doing if it fits your macros, but they're getting their macros, their calories from healthy food sources. So they're having a kale shake in the morning, they're having a protein shake maybe throughout the day, maybe a bulletproof coffee, maybe they're having a meal with some salmon, some avocado, some stir fry, something like that, maybe some healthy carbs, some white basmati rice, some sweet potatoes. So we have two individuals and they're eating the same amount of calories in theory, but obviously we can't do this experiment in the most accurate way, which would basically be have two clones. So two people with kind of the same metabolism, the same metabolic functions within the body, the same speed of insulin, the pancreas at the same function, the same working functioning. So everything within the body, energy wise, would be the same. Obviously that's going to be very hard to implement because everyone is different. But for example, two people eating 2,800 calories, I'd just pick 2,800 calories for a rough estimate, which is kind of a healthy range for a male. Women maybe 2,200, but it doesn't matter because it's the same regardless of the calories. So we have two people eating the same amount of calories coming from different foods. I hear everyone online saying, if you want to lose, and I used to be this person, this is what kind of frustrates me, because I was this person, and I will admit that I used to say this was me. I always used to say, calories in versus calories out. Now there's some truth to that. Now obviously there is some truth to that. Calories in versus calories out. Okay, thermodynamics. The second law in thermodynamics is entropy. I think, is it the third law or the first law? So the main point being that calories aren't equal in the respect of the food sources that we choose. So if it fits your macros is gonna, be a bad way of living if you're getting your macros from foods that are not providing much nutrients. Now, are we looking at foods in a way that we're actually looking at, the macronutrients, the vitamins within that food? Are we looking at, getting some vitamin C, getting our magnesium, our zinc, our iron, our essential minerals? If it fits your macros is not going to work very well if we are just going to KFC, because basically it's implying that we can kind of, in a sense, we can eat whatever we want as long as it fits our macros. Now, it's actually very hard to hit your macros when you do eat junk food. However, if you're on the standard American diet, the acronym is SAD, which is quite ironic, if you're trying to get 65% of your calories from carbs, you can get a lot of junk food in. The fat is also going to be high because, you know, your junk food is obviously cheeseburgers, pizzas, ice cream, stuff like that, so the fat is going to be quite high as well. However, if it fits your macros, there's more to it. Like, I follow if it fits your macros, but I'm only following that in the sense that I want to make sure I'm getting 65% fat or 60% fat, 15 to 20% protein, and 20 to 30% carbs, dependent on the day. If it's a leg day, the carbs will be higher. If it's a rest day, the carbs will be 20%. So there's some variation in my if it fits your macros, but it's not really if it fits your macros like eating junk food. You've got to look at it in a different perspective, because I think that eating junk food or eating whatever I want as long as it fits within 2,500 calories is a myth, and I'll explain why. Because if we're having 2,800 calories and we just eat junk food and we keep getting, you know, loads of sugar, loads of insulin spikes, our blood sugar levels are all over the place, what is that going to do to our body? That's going to stress out our hormones, so our hormonal functioning is going to be dysregulated, okay, which is bad. If your hormones are out of whack and they're not in a controlled state, you are not going to be able to lose weight. And this has been proven hundreds of times in many studies. It doesn't matter if you're in a calorie deficit. You can actually be in a 1,000 calorie deficit and not lose weight, either by slowing the metabolism down, having very stressed out hormones, your hunger hormones, your ghrelin. If your ghrelin is out of whack, you're not going to lose weight, okay, because you're going to be hungry all the time. You're not going to be able to eat because you've ate too many calories, therefore you're going to be stressing out your body. That means cortisol, your stress hormone, is going to get elevated. So you're going to be stressed out, you're going to be hungry, but you're going to think you're okay because you're eating within your, if it fits your macros. Now switch that to the other side, increase your calories, get foods from very nutrient dense sources, so you could be going for very high fat sources, avocados, eggs, meat, butter, grass-fed butter of course, and you can actually fill your body up with the right nutrients, such as having a kale shake, which has got hundreds of, you know, minerals, vitamins in there, iron, magnesium, calcium, all these great sources of food that are actually going to nourish your body and keep you full. Therefore your ghrelin will be fulfilled. It's not gonna be out of whack. You're not gonna feel hungry because you're gonna have the nutrients within your body. You're not gonna be stressed out because you're hungry. I mean, you're not hungry, sorry, so you're full. So your cortisol levels are gonna be low. You're eating a lot of fat from healthy sources, avocado, eggs, meat, butter, cream, stuff like that. Maybe not so much cream, but that means your testosterone levels are gonna be very healthy. And if you're implementing intermittent fasting or prolonged fasting, you're also going to have that autophagy if you go for prolonged versions. And also, even if you do intermittent fasting, you're going to get that human growth hormone increase, HGH increase, which is obviously going to help with the muscle building. So I think if it fits your macros, there's a huge disparity between what it means. Because yes, I follow it if it fits your macros diet, but I never really say that I'm on if it fits your macros. It's more I'm on a carb backloading / ketogenic, cyclical ketogenic style diet with intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting.